Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to another Thursday Night Live. Tonight we're doing something a little different. We're stepping out of the whole Brown family conundrum, if you will, and we're stepping into something that I thought was kind of interesting. A little bit ago, we were doing our Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, I guess, depending on where you live, roundtables. And at the end of one of the discussions, I had an opportunity to talk to local arts witch, and we started jawboning, talking about uh, raising young men. And I think that there, like, we like to pretend that you can raise a young man the exact same way you raise a young woman in today's society, but I don't think that that's the case. I don't think it's necessarily broken down because of uh, particular roles that somebody has to play, but it's just the expectations that we have for everybody involved. Now, a lot of this I think gets blurred because the reality of it is that there is a lot of cross characteristics that you would want to see in a mature, developed, growing, complete adult. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not like I'm just sitting around saying that, well, men have to take the lead and be responsible. And if they have children, they have to make sure their children are responsible and taken care of. And when it comes to women, they don't have any of those responsibilities. That would be silly. To me, that's a silly conversation. Even when I listen to online debates about this particular issue, most of it comes off extremely silly to me because they try to define, like, they use these terms and these phrases that bear zero resemblance to actual reality, if that makes sense. But what we're going to do is we're going to give a little time for folks to kind of come in and get settled. So I'm going to play a little bit of music and then we're going to get right into it. All right. Thanks.
Could be watching chefs burn pots in the kitchen, or influencers fake fights for attention. Drama queens with crowns, but no conviction. But now you're here, my addiction. Could've clicked that prank, that mukbang feast, or streams of gamers slaying beats. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me where you wanna be, out the algorithm, just you and me. Could be watching cats knock glasses down, or a dude trying to stunt stressed as a clown. DIY hacks turn smiles to frowns, but you're vibing here, no fakes around sound. This ain't unboxing or ASMR, no clickbait titles, no rented cars. Realest channel in your repertoire, stay tuned, superstar. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me where you wanna be, out the algorithm, just you and me.
All right. First pop up of the song, first pop up of the song. Let's see. I was just checking some of the. Yeah, like I said, I think that there's obviously there's, in some respects, we kind of receive different information with regard to what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it and all that good stuff. But, I think that this will be a interesting topic. Hopefully people tune in, check it out. Let me go one more song and then we'll get into it.
Scream. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Scrolling through the tube, all the thumbnails flash. Cats doing flips, planes gone bad, they crash. But now you landed here where the beats don't miss. Yeah, algorithm point, but you hit my abyss. Oh. Could've clicked the cooking show. Could've learned to tie a boat. But you chose this flow. So let's go, yeah. You could be watching any YouTube channel, but you're here with me, grab the remote, dismantle. Lost in the pixels, but the vibe too ample. You could've clicked away, now you're stuck in my scandal. ASMR whispers, mukbang feast, unbox therapy or conspiracy priest. But now you're in a trap, this rap's your feast. Chewing on the words, every line unleashed. A million views, a billion streams, but don't hit the vein of these digital dreams. You could surf the net, but you stayed in my scheme. Caught up in my rhythm, my beat supreme. Could be watching any YouTube channel, but you're here with me, grab the remote, dismantle. Lost in the pixels, but the vibe too ample. You could've clicked away, now you're stuck in my scandal.
All right. Might as well light the fires, kick the tires, and get this show on the dang on road. All right, folks. These are some of the things that kind of come up during a lot of the live stream debates that I've witnessed in the past, especially anything dealing with like any of the fools from the manosphere, which in and of itself seems noxious because anybody with any common sense, I think, widely ignores a lot of the things that the commentators and people who argue on behalf of the manosphere, a lot of the things they say, people who are in the know just dismiss it as, oh, okay, nobody's listening to them because what they're saying is completely ridiculous. And I get that. But I think that there's a real danger in that because the problem is that they speak to young men who frankly don't know any better. They don't know the difference. They're speaking to young men who are still trying to figure out things. And maybe they don't have good examples of how to treat women, how to treat themselves, how to operate within a society in a productive manner, which allows them to be able to benefit and profit society and not just, try to find ways to create self-aggrandizement on an individual level. And I think that that's so much of what not only the problem with the manosphere is, but I think that that's one of the problems that we're heading towards as an overall society is that everything becomes so much about what I can get, what I can do, what I can do for myself. How does this benefit me? Me, I, that we no longer look at how can we benefit society? How can we move together as a world? How can we improve our communities? And I think that if we're going to start anywhere with regard to, and this isn't just like I said, a lot of this can be applied across gender roles or whatever the case may be. I think that these are some things that we just have to instill in people. But I think that because of the way men are reared, typically, we are not pushed into situations and circumstances where we become nurturing to the things around us. So when we operate, instead of us operating in a society where we just try to figure out what's best for me, but we try to figure out what's best for everybody. How can everybody benefit and profit? I think that takes on another level of our evolution as far as people are concerned. Now, some people look at James, you sound like a hippie. You sound like a hippie dippy. You're scared of success. Nobody's afraid of success. Nobody wants people to not be successful. Shit, I want to be successful. Who the hell told you I didn't want to be successful? Who told you that I don't want to have enough money to be able to leave something substantial to my kids and my grandkids and my kids' grandkids? Everybody wants to be that person. Everybody wants to be that person. But the reality of it is that I don't want to be that person if it leads to the detriment of, okay, yeah, fine, I'm doing well, and maybe my kids are doing okay, but everybody else, their lives suck. See, because I live in reality, and the reality in which I live in, if my kids are worth $100 million and they live next to kids who don't eat, then my kids are a target. Can we say that one time? If you if you are doing extremely well and the people that you surround yourself are the fronts, they fronts are touching their backs because they are so hungry, you are in danger. You are in danger. So even on the selfish level, it does better for you to improve society. Like for instance, I've had this conversation with my brother, and we were talking specifically about the importance of schools, and we were talking about like charter schools and how they're trying to defund the public schools and why schools are so important. Education being a way for an avenue for people to be able to make it out of abject poverty per se, because it gives opportunity, not the only opportunity, but it certainly does provide opportunities. And one of the things that you have to understand about my brother does not have children. Okay. So and he's a homeowner and all that good stuff. So he's paying taxes, and technically he's paying school taxes, a good amount of school taxes for where he lives. Right? He pays a good amount of school taxes. And the one thing about my brother is that, like, yeah, I could sit here and complain about paying school taxes. I don't even have no damn kids, so I'm paying the tax that I'm not directly benefiting from. And I think that he could make that argument, but my brother also makes the observation that if he wasn't paying those school taxes, what would happen to those kids that aren't being educated? Those would be the same kids who turn into adults that will be out there knocking people upside the damn head, because nobody is going to starve to death because they couldn't go to school and they couldn't find opportunity. That's fantasy shit that you kick people off, like even in the social net of things. You kick people off of social programs, you kick them out of their house, you take food off their table, you tell them that you won't provide certain benefits. What do you think those people are going to do? You think they're going to sit there and watch their kids starve to death? I'm telling you right now, as a parent, I'm not doing that shit. My kids ain't missing no meals if I have anything to say about it. So that's one of the things that, like, I wanted to talk about, like the role of fathers, how we raise our kids, how we talk to our kids about what being a man is. Right. And I get the whole thing with the manosphere, which I think is widely delusional, that a lot of folks look at when they talk about being a man is supposed to be the strong, stoic one. He's supposed to be the leader of the house. He's supposed to be the one that make all the rules and guide the people, guide his family. He's supposed, because and they always use these examples, which every time burn me up, because men were hunter gatherers or hunters, and women were home taking care of the children and blah blah blah, right? And in today's society, I just have this one question: I can't get half these dudes who sit there and talk about how macho they are. You can't get them to clean a pack of chicken to cook for themselves. They act like they out there on the Serengeti killing damn saber-toothed tigers with a stick. Your wife can't even get you to come home and look at raw chicken and cut chicken fat off so you can eat that night, because it'll roll your stomach. And you have the audacity to sit around and talk about how you come from a long line of legacy hunters. Or my favorite, when they sit around and talk about how women don't deserve the right to vote because men could potentially be drafted. Okay, first of all, when was the last time they ran a draft? That was during the Vietnam War, in which most of the people, most of the audience of these shows weren't even born yet. They weren't even born yet. Second of all, you never got drafted. Third of all, in order for them to do a draft, they have to create a law to draft. They would have to create a law. They just can't say you're going to open up the draft again and start putting people back in the service. They'd have to do a law in order for that to happen. You know what women do? They're not in fear of getting drafted because men aren't in fear of getting drafted. But you know what everybody does? Every working age adult, everybody who goes to a store, you know what they do? They pay taxes. So you're saying that they don't deserve representation because on some off chance possibility, at some point somewhere down the line, they might not get drafted? Well, what about the fact that men do the hardest, most dangerous jobs? Okay. But in most cases, we're not all doing those jobs. And if we're going to make that argument, then what you're saying is the only people who should be allowed to vote would be people who work extremely dangerous jobs, police officers, firemen, uh, construction workers, and people people who've done military service, particularly if you've done veteran of foreign wars. Then you get to vote. Other than that, you don't get to vote. Like a lot of the stuff that they tell young men is just nonsense. Go out and sleep with as many people as possible. Why? Why? It's the things that like we sit around and pretend like, oh, there's a difference. And it's a weird conversation because how many times have you been in a conversation where somebody will say something to the effect of, if I go out and sleep with a bunch of people, if I was a man, it would be okay. But since I'm a woman, I'm all these things. I'm a terrible person. I'm a HOE, garden tool, and all this other stuff. Right? Here's the thing. And I've had this conversation with both my kids, my daughter and my son. And here's the thing, because we talk, I give them the real dope. I give them the straight up truth about sex, sexuality, relationships, and all that. I don't pull punches. If anything, I might be too honest. Like so, sometimes I'll be reining myself, and I'll be like, "All right, run away because your father about to say something off the hook." Right? But when I talk to them about it, the things that I've expressed to them is not, go out and try to bang out as many people as possible. What I've told them specifically is that like I don't lie about it. Intimacy with another person is an amazing thing. There's a reason why wars have been fought over sex and sexuality. There's a reason. Okay. People are in the ground right now, in the ground and at the Gray Bar Motel prison over some wing dang and some thang thang. You understand what I mean? People go look because it's amazing. However, as amazing as it is, enjoy your time, especially for young people. Enjoy your time. And this is something that I've shared not only with my son, but my daughter. Now, recognizing that as because we live in a society, I refuse to sit here and pretend that I can raise my kids the exact same for the exact same reason. And I tell them the same thing for the exact same reason, because that would be foolish. That would be ignorant. That would be ignorant. Like for instance, if you have a daughter, you may tell her take your time because there will be expectations if you rush out and you start once you crack that, you crack that nut. I didn't mean that necessarily as punny as it sounded, but once you crack it, you know that relationship is from that point forward is different. You understand what I mean? Like there's like you if you guys are at a point where you can hold hands, you can kiss, you can hug, you can walk down the street, and there's no expectation of that next step, then that's a safe place to be. That's an enjoyable time. Enjoy that time. You got all your life to sit there and worry about the other parts. Enjoy that time. But understand you're going to be pressured to do those things. Because I live in society and I know how it works. With my son, he may experience some pressure, because these girls are straightforward now. They don't be playing, they ain't shy. But he would experience a different type of pressure because young men are expected to throw it away. We're expected to throw our innocence away on the first hole it passes because it's like, have being like being a virgin is like having the 1-9 COVID. Like you just want to get rid of it, right? It's something dirty that you don't want to have. You want to just get rid of it. but you lose a lot in that experience, in that exchange, because you too, again, if you can enjoy that experience of being able to enjoy somebody else's company without that pressure, that's awesome. But at the same time, if you don't learn to appreciate how special it can be with somebody you actually care about, and it's all about you just trying to get as much as you can for from as many people as you can, there's a cost to that. And I think that that's a real thing. Like, I think that there's so much, especially in our society, there's so much push on like trying to sleep with as many people as possible, that folks just don't recognize that there's an emotional cost to it. And they try to put it, like I said, in a lot of manosphere debates, they try to put it on women. Women have these ties. They just can't they sleep with a bunch of men and they change their chemistry. Hell, we watched it on Sister Wives when people say that, you know? Watch your Sister Wives, change their brain chemistry. If you kiss them, you change their brain chemistry every time because they're encoded to you like you're a disease, right? But that shit doesn't make any sense. And it's just some of the lessons that we teach our young men. Like for instance, we because everybody wants to teach their young men to be strong, and this is what men do, and we have to be stoic and we have to be leaders. A lot of times we don't teach our young men how to heal. We teach them how to survive when tragic things happen. We don't teach them to talk about it. We don't teach them to seek help. We don't talk to them about mental awareness, emotional intelligence. We talk about, well, if you hurt, you can't show anybody. An anecdote from my lifetime. I come from a long line, and I say this laughing and crying at the same time. I come from a long line of men, and this is how my grandfather would describe it, my papa. I come from a long line of men who are made of steel and cars are made of wood, right? And now it seems as though, men are made of wood and cars are made of steel. That's what my grandfather used to say all the time. And it projected that image of strength. And when it came down to it, like, I think back to my grandfather and, as straightforward as he was, as upright as he was, I can maybe count on one hand the number of times that I've seen him be emotional. One of which was when his wife had passed away. Same thing with my father. My father, you know, he was more emotionally intelligent than a lot of the men in his prior generations, way more emotionally intelligent. Loved us to death, me and my brother. Like, there's nothing he wouldn't do or show up to shit. Very expressive. Like, he was very quick to tell us how he was proud of us or how he loved us and how he felt about us, etc. So from that respect, he was very emotionally intelligent. But when it came to things that directly affected him, he was very hesitant about sharing a lot of that stuff. If I call my dad up today and I said, "Dad, what's going on? How you doing?" "Oh, I'm good. I'm good." He could be literally laying in the hospital, tubes and wires everywhere, and he'll tell me he doing fine. I remember there was one time my mother called me when she was still alive. She called me up and said, "Hey, James, you doing anything tomorrow?" I said, "No." I said, "What's going on?" She said, "Could you ride your dad to the hospital? He has to go in for a procedure." I say, "Absolutely. What's going on?" And she tells me the procedure, and it's a serious procedure. And I said, "Well, what was he going to do?" "Well, he can't drive once he gets out. So, because, he'll be under anesthesia and he wouldn't be able to drive. So what he was planning on doing was he was planning on getting up early, walking to the hospital to get surgery, recovering from said surgery, and then trying to walk back home." And I said, what the fuck? Why in the world would he do that? Like this don't make no damn sense. I was like, I don't care what I gotta do. There's no way he's walking to the damn hospital. Especially when I got a car. I had two cars, I think, at the time. I had two cars sitting under my ass. There's no way he's walking to the hospital. If I have to walk to your house so I can drive your car to drive him to the hospital, then that's what we're gonna do. But why would he? And I talked to him. I said, "Well, Dad, why the hell would you do that and try to walk to the hospital?" You know what he told me? He said, "James, I didn't want to be in nobody's trouble. I know y'all be busy, and I didn't want to trouble y'all with nothing." That, that is not trouble. That does not bother me. It bothers me more that you think that you can't call me and ask me to do something. That bothers me more, way more than me being somewhat inconvenienced, quote unquote, if I felt like I was being inconvenienced at all, which I don't feel like I'm being inconvenienced. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but that's just how men were raised. They were raised to, and in no small part, because I recognize that same, especially as I get older and I start going through things, I recognize that same thing in myself. I do the same shit, you know? I will do the same shit. I'll be jacked up. If my kids need something, I'll get up and do it. I don't care what I'm going out. I don't care what's going on. Like if I could be headed to the hospital later that afternoon. Okay, I got to get to school. I got something to do at work. Okay, cool. Let's go. I got you. How you doing? I'm fine. I'm good. Be on my deathbed. Think I'm on my way out. I'm good. Everything's fine. And part of it just comes from the fact that you don't want nobody to worry about us because we don't want to be burdens. We feel like when Karma Cuties had called in and she had said that you got to check on your strong friends. A lot of young men are raised to try to be those strong friends, those friends that are don't talk about their issues and their problems, because my issues and my problems are my issues and my problems, and I need to make sure that you're okay. And I think that that's one of the things that I kind of wanted to touch on with regard to like how we're raising young men. Um, Specifically, when I was talking to uh, a local art switch, she had mentioned like, well, how do you I want them. She hears a lot of the manosphere stuff, and she was concerned about it, and which I think rightly so. But how do you steer young men away from that? And I think it comes down to a simple thing. Because it's something she said, and I developed the epiphany from something she said. She said, "Well, I spent a lot of time trying to teach him how to respect others, right?" And I respect that, and I understand that. And I think that that's how a lot of us are raised. We're taught to respect others. Here's the thing: we also have to learn how to respect ourselves. Because when my kids were young, right? I had this thing I used to say, an anagram I came up with is they would leave the house, you know, and like I would say two things to them. One of which was from probably wholly inappropriate because it came from a movie, Deadpool, where I would say, "All right," I was like, "All right, what we gonna do today at school?" And the kids will respond back, "Maximum effort," right? Because I love that saying, like maximum effort, right? That was the first thing. And I say, "And what's our creed?" And they'll say, "CHIP." And what does CHIP stand for? CHIP, character, honor, integrity, pride, right? And when we're teaching them about self-respect, that's where I'm coring a lot of that from. That character, honor, integrity, pride. These are things that you have internally. These are things that you have internally. These are things that you do because you are who you are. One of the things that my I guess is a minor annoyance from my wife, my lady, is that I can walk down the street and whether I like you or don't like you, we could be in a hot feud and I will speak to you. I'll say hi. There's very I can maybe count on three fingers the amount of times I've actually actively ignored somebody. Right. I refuse to speak to them. Right. And she asked me all the time, like, why do you do that? Why do you you see somebody? Hell, you'll see somebody three, four times. You speak to them every time you see them. Why do you do that? And you know, for some people, they look at it and they say, wow, you're kissing up to these people or you're bowing or kowtowing to these people. I speak to people because that's who I am. If I do an act of kindness to somebody or I help somebody out, like that's also a little thing of annoyance to her. Because sometimes we'll be doing stuff and I'll go out of my way, like I'll notice something like, oh, let me go fix that because this could put somebody in danger or whatever. Like it'd be something in the road, I'll like pull my car over and take it out the road. Somebody not gonna see this and tear their car up or hit somebody else and cause an accident. Somebody gonna get hurt and do something. Why are you doing that shit? That ain't your job, you know. I'll be in the store, pick shit up off the ground and put it on the shelf or whatever. So I don't want somebody to come around, slip and fall. You know, you don't work here. And I see the point. I see the point. But the reason I do it is it because I'm looking for somebody to sing my praises and tell me I'm a good, good boy. You're doing the right thing. You're outstanding man. I do those things because that's who I am. That to me is my self-respect. I am showing self-respect by being the person that I am. I'm not going to allow other people to change me because you're nasty. You're not going to make me nasty. I'm not going to give you that level of control. So if I see somebody and I don't like them, I'll speak to you. Hey, how you doing? You know, I hope the best for you. I've had arguments and disagreements with people. And when you first coming up, I had like my lady and I when we first, we got together, we were doing a co-op townhouse, and people were like, "Oh, your area kind of suspect," and they talk shit about it. But that little townhouse made some money on that. Then we were able to put money down on the house. And then people would sit there and talk shit about the house. Oh, this is nice for you. This house is nice for you. This is my house. This is my place. I'm paying this shit. This is mine. Right? That's how I saw it. And they looked down on it. And then we were able to double that up, flip that, make crazy money on that house. And we were able to buy the house that we're currently living in. And as soon as we moved from the house, don't you know, I had people sitting there saying, oh, they moved? They must have lost that house. That's the first thing they went to. Not that we improved our situation or we found another house, whatever, but oh, they must have lost their house. And they would sit there and laugh and giggle and all that, right? Turns out some of the people who said that actually, had houses built, new houses, and they turned around and lost their house. And I felt terrible for them that happened. And when that happened, I sat there and I said, wow, this is horrible. Because I would never want that for anybody to be in that situation. Even though they wished it on me, I would never wish that back on them. And I'm not going to sit here and clap myself on the back and giggle and sniggle because somebody's going through this hard time. And you say, well, but James, you'd be justified in doing that. No, I guess on a moral scale, maybe I could justify it, but that's not who I am. And I have to be true to myself. So I have to respect myself. When it comes to dating, we talk about like dating situations. Uh, and we got to watch it firsthand with Cody Brown and a lot of the sister wives. You take my daughter out, you make sure you respect her, and blah blah blah, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the thing: I have a daughter, and I have a son, and I don't want nobody like Cody Brown talking to my son about relationships and what he needs to be doing in a relationship and how he needs to conduct himself around young ladies. I don't know you, and I don't know what you made of. You sitting here disrespecting your wives and your kids. So how the hell you gonna talk to mine about what he needs to be doing with one of yours? Right. And so even from that respect, as a father, speaking as a father, I would tell him The same thing I practice. You teach your daughter to respect herself, and I want to teach my son to respect himself. And you teach your daughter to develop boundaries, things she will and she won't put up with. And if my son violates any of those boundaries, she should discontinue the relationship. That's what I told my daughter. I didn't tell my daughter that I'm gonna sit up here and threaten some boy and try to coerce him to treat her a certain kind of way. No, 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 no. Because I want him to be who he is. So that way he doesn't waste her damn time. You be who you are, the true you. She can assess who you are, and then she can make a decision as to whether she wants to continue that relationship. That's her respecting herself. And as far as my son is concerned, yes, absolutely, you should respect her and respect the people that you date. But at the same time, you have respect for yourself. Don't spend time with a bunch of crabs. Don't spend time with a bunch of turkeys and wonder why you're not soaring with the eagles. That was actually one of my mom's favorite sayings when I was coming up. You can't hang out with a bunch of turkeys and then look up in the sky and wonder why you're not soaring with the eagles. People, be careful your associations. So if you hanging out with a woman and she's not about shit, you can't be mad that in 2 years she still ain't about shit. Respect yourself. And how, because this is your time too. She's not giving you a special gift by spending time with you. Right? You have to respect yourself and carry yourself in a way that demonstrates how you respect yourself. I'm not going to pressure your daughter into doing something that she doesn't want, not because I need to learn or respect women. I'm not going to do that shit because I respect myself. I don't go to parties I'm not invited to. I don't beg to hang out with people who don't want to hang out with me. And I damn sure don't force people to sleep with me who don't have any intention of sleeping with me. You know why? Because I respect myself. And that's one of the things that I think that we have to teach not only the young men, but teach the young ladies. Maybe for different reasons, but it's just about self-respect. When we teach these, like there's a guy named Fahood, calls himself Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit. He was on a live stream and he was actively telling people that if you get married, a wife doesn't have the legal right to tell you no when it comes to intimacy. So basically, if she says she don't feel like doing it, she's sick, she's not in the mood, you could take it. And that was extremely disturbing to me. You know, that was extremely, extremely disturbing to me. You know, because there's some young dumbasses who are going to believe that. And he supposedly used to be in law enforcement, which is crazy as hell to me. He supposedly worked for Homeland Security. I think he's a paper pusher. Like, I don't think he really did anything because there's just certain things about law he doesn't understand. And if you are telling people that shit, all you doing is inviting them kids to go to prison. And then they can experience for themselves what it's like to tell people no. And those people don't take no for an answer. But hey, that's all that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I'm a man in their mind. Okay. All right. Maybe you say so. But it's things like that. But again, it goes back to it. There's an issue of not respecting others, clearly their boundaries. I'm not ignoring that. But it goes back to when you look at yourself, what type of person do you want to be? What do you want to be remembered for? You know, the other on Tuesday, I talked a lot about making sure you tell people who are still here while they're here how you feel about them. But here's the thing, when you're gone, what do you think people are going to say about you? You know, did you carry yourself in a way where people respected you and your decisions and how you conducted yourself? Or did you make an impact on people's lives? A positive impact on people's lives? Or were you the person who sat there and was only worried about yourself? And when you go, people, you know, some people bring flowers, some people gonna bring balloons and pins to make sure you actually go. You know, so it's crazy talk. But I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to call in. Looks like we don't have a lot of folks tonight, so might be wrapping early, but we're gonna make it do what it do. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Uh, Is he be in the house? What's up? Hold on a second. Dude. Here's the link. All right. And just some things like 5 questions we can ask about young men today. I created a little slide for you guys. Ain't that special? We teaching young men self-love or self-entitlement. 2, are we focusing too much on respecting others and not enough on respecting yourselves? 3, do we teach the true value of personal responsibility? 4, what does it mean to be a man in today's society? And that's kind of a ongoing flux thing, because I think it shapes and it changes based on the needs of society and where we are economically, socially, and so on and so forth. Like the whole I'm a manly man, and therefore, back in the day I would have to go out and fight. And if somebody break in the house, if somebody break in the house, let's just say that, James got more than one hammer in the house. I got more than one hammer in the tool belt. So if you break in here, we be down on your ass like Lethal Weapons. You know what I mean? Murtaugh and Riggs. Man, my lady be on top of your ass, boy. Like, like Butcher the Sundance Kid, son. You ain't got to worry about one of us. You got to worry about everybody in the crib. I don't understand that. Like, we not out here sword fighting no more. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, men are the only ones. Somebody breaking the house. Men are the only ones who can defend the house. With the technology we have, if they got 5 pounds of pressure that they can put in their fingertip, they can defend the house. So I don't know what that's about. And of course, number 5, what advice would you give a young man today? All right. Let me just check one thing, and then we're going to jump into the phone calls. I see Megatron in the house. Let me just check one thing. You're right with you, Megatron. Just give me 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah, we are where we are. All right, Megatron.
I don't like you like that. No, I don't.
Hey, Megatron, what's happening?
Oh, hey, James.
How goes it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all heard me.
No, we go to the back end or whatever that was. Like, we didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. I was teasing my son. Okay, go away, little boy. Yes. Okay, so, damn, I lost my train of thought. I had it in my head, and these kids messing with me. Oh yeah, we talking about don't turn my TV. We're talking about raising young men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm a single mom. I have 2 boys. My take is this, James. Yeah, I can't teach him how to be a man, but I can teach him how to be a decent human. And that is like my main goal. And so like in the chat, I think it was Jody I was chatting with in the chat. Like, yeah, like my son, he's 20 and he's dating, and the amount of girls that have tried to take advantage of him because he's what's the word these kids use these days, James? He's a simp.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's corny because he's a nice, respectful young man. My son is a yes ma'am, no ma'am person. And his friends are all like, oh gosh, he's a simp. And so it's like it paints a picture that he's easily taken advantage of.
Right.
And then when it doesn't work, he's a brokey. He's this, he's that. All of the things because he doesn't. He's a very respectful young man. He's a very nice young man, but he's not a stupid young man.
Mm-hmm.
And once they realize, oh, he ain't stupid, I can't get over on him. Then it's let's get on social media and bash his, oh, he this, he did, and all of the things, right? So like yeah, it's hard out here for anybody, but especially for the young. And I could only speak from my experience, but for the young black males, it is really tough because
Mm-hmm.
you're fighting the societal I ain't gonna say norms, but the societal
Well, expectations.
statistics. Yeah. Like you're dealing with all of that at the same time. You're trying to be a good person, and some
Right.
days it's a struggle for him to not go the hell off. He's my child. Of course, he's ready to go the hell off.
So you
You
ready
know,
for it?
he be ready for it. That's just like James. I don't know if you I think you responded to the it's this show that I stumbled upon the other night. And my whole thing was, when is it your responsibility to keep yourself safe?
Right.
And when I say that, I mean, okay, this building is on fire, but it's got 100 pounds of gold in it. So I'm going to risk life and limb to go in because I want to get that gold. Well, you go in, get trapped. Well, now 5 firemen have to risk their lives to go in when your dumb ass shouldn't have went in there anyway.
Yeah.
And then
You
and
still
it's,
holding on
what
to the
did
gold
anybody
though.
help me?
And you still hold on to the gold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Refuse to
And,
let it
and,
go. We're trying to
and
save you.
yeah, so I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other night when I was watching that show. It's called Paradise House,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this guy in Vegas where he's exploiting super plus size women, right?
Right.
He's 100% exploiting them. But these girls are finding him. Like they go on his TikTok page and audition, so to speak. He invites them out or pay for it. I don't know how that thing works, but they end up going to his home. Like he has this mansion out in Vegas. The guy's a millionaire, right? And so these girls go into this I don't want to call it polygamy, but he's a self-proclaimed polygamist. That's what he says about himself, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
all these girls that come to the house are either his girlfriend or someone he's in a sexual relationship with. My thing is, if you know this is what you went to the channel, you went to the TikTok channel, whatever, you saw what the content was. He's a millionaire, he's got a mansion, he likes big women, so I'm gonna go. Then you get there knowing what the expectation is. And so it's this 3-part documentary of these women. Oh, I was a victim. He touched me. He did. And I'm like, was that not what you signed up for?
Right.
I'm confused here. So at what point is are you responsible for your own well-being?
Well, 100%. You're responsible. And I know that's not a popular answer, but again, when you do any sport, like when I've played sports or been a part of contact this to contact that since as long as I can remember. And the first rule to any sport is protect yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because ultimately we can have all the rules in the rule book to tell people not how to do you, not, don't be kicking at people's knees, don't try to tackle them at the knees and all that. But you have to make sure that these people are doing the right thing by you. The other day, my daughter was driving. She drives. And she was coming back and she said, people were out there driving crazy. And I said, yeah, I know it's little rush hour time, but your primary thing, and I've been telling this since you started driving, your primary goal is to keep these fools off your car. Because it
Right.
don't matter how right you are, it don't matter what you were doing or whatever the case may be, they tear your shit up, you out. You
That
understand
part.
what I mean? So you have to protect yourself. Even if you have to take an extraordinary means in order for you to do what you need to do to protect yourself and look out for yourself. You got to look out for yourself. And you
Right.
can't rely on somebody else's kindness, somebody else's morality code, or whatever the case. Oh, they wouldn't possibly hurt me like this because they come off like a good person. I don't trust none of that shit. You know what I mean? I trust me. I trust
That
me.
part.
I mean, I trust the people I brought with me. The only person I came with was me. So,
Right.
because I know what I'm gonna do. And so when push them down the shove, yeah, you're responsible for yourself. I will touch on one thing that you said earlier with some of these young ladies. The thing is that it's a lot more the money hungry aspect or the usury aspect of dating. I think is a lot more publicized now just because of social media. It's more in your face.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because I remember when I was a kid, they had a song. Ice Cube sang a song called "I Ain't the One." That shit used to be my
Oh
theme
God.
song. You know what I mean? That was my theme song. I ain't the one.
I
The one
love
to
that
play a
song
freak,
too.
but what? You know what I mean?
Mm,
It
mm.
used me for my money. No, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Because it was happening before too. And I've been told, like, because at the end of the day, and this is why I say that it's so important to teach your kids self-respect and not just respect for other people.
Right.
The value that they have in themselves is important because when I was dating and I would go out, I would encounter like I kind of grew up in a bougie ass area too. So, I would like in some cases I was too dark skinned or I didn't have enough money because the people was coming from families with
hmm
money and all that.
Right.
And of course you did have like the influence of like there were cats out there earning that fast money, you know, the wrong
Right.
way. To the street sales on location pharmaceutical representatives uh
hmm
earning paper, and it seemed like they got a lot of attention. The one thing I will say from that is that you learn to that things happen in due time with the right for the right people for the right reasons. If
Right.
you're not the people that you sit around and you be upset that, oh man, I don't understand why she wouldn't give me a chance because I'm way better than the dude that she's breaking her neck to try to be with. We
Right.
also have to take a step back in the self-respect part of it and say it's not just that she's rejecting you, she's rejecting herself and her own best interest. She's not on you guys aren't vibrating on the same level. The things that you're trying to accomplish and do for yourself aren't necessarily the things that she's trying to do for herself. She's so busy chasing after that fast money, she's not looking out for herself. Kind of what we were talking about
Right.
just a minute ago.
Right.
She's not protecting herself and she's not protecting her future. So you will get tied up with a dude who could get locked up next week, or maybe he put something in your bag and
Yeah.
got you
You go
carrying
take
some
the
shit.
fall.
Yeah, you hooked up. Because somebody sent me a thing on YouTube or Facebook. It's in the Facebook group with two cousins went in supposedly trying to
Oh,
rob.
that was me. That was me. That's my show. Help me, cuz. Help me,
Yeah,
cuz.
help me, cuz, help me, cuz. Like, and that's what that shit reminds me of. Like they come up with the dumb shit and they put the shit in your bag and they talk about, oh well, don't worry about it. You ain't got no charges. You innocent. You ain't got no record. Me, they gonna throw me up under the jail. And as soon as you get caught, you calling that fool to come and bail your ass out. And he ain't picking up no phone
Hey,
calls.
won't answer, going straight to voicemail.
Yep, yep. So don't fall
Yeah.
for the bullshit. Help me, cuz. Like, don't fall for that.
Help me, cuz. I man, they beat the fool out of cuz.
Yeah, they tore his ass up. Like, I'd have been so pissed. I'd have been so pissed. Help me,
Jay,
cuz.
listen, and that and I'm one of those parents, like me and Jody was talking about in the chat. Like my kids tell me everything, not because I'm forcing them, not because they're scared of me. It's because they know Mama is a safe space. They know Mama is a now. I say I'm non-judgmental to a fault, to a degree. Now, if you
Mhm.
go do something stupid, I'm gonna let you know that that was dumb. Yeah,
Right.
but it's not in a way to make them feel bad. It's a you know what? Yeah, you did that thing, but would you do it again? No, because that was crazy, Mama. Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. That was kind of crazy of you. So I am a safe space for my children, and they know it. So again, when the young lady was first of all, she wanted to go to the movies, right? So he's
Mhm.
like, okay, he's a gentleman. He's like, all right, I'll buy the tickets. So now, James, when's the last time you bought a movie ticket?
Yeah,
Movie
yeah,
tickets
yeah.
is about $30 a person now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he spent about, I'd say about a little over $50 because now you can't even buy the tickets in the movie theaters no more. You got to get them online. And by the time you buy the ticket, the taxes, and then they added the service, whoever you buy the ticket from adds a service fee. So the ticket was about $60 for just him and the date.
Mm,
So he goes to pick her. He's like, all right, mom, I'm gonna gas up. I'm gonna go pick her up. I'm gonna take her to the movies. Okay, be safe, have fun. Let me know when you leave. You're on your way home. About 15 minutes later, he called me. He's like, Mom, I'm coming back home. I was like, why? What's wrong? He's like, well, I went to pick her up. I stopped to the Dollar Tree to get us some snacks because I'm not buying $200 worth of snacks in there. So
right, right.
I'm gonna go ahead on and first of all, before he went, he asked her like, "Do you want to go grab something to eat first?" Oh no, I'm gonna just eat when I get there. And he's like, "Oh well, I normally eat beforehand and then just take some snacks in there, whatever, because that's how I've
Right.
trained him. I don't have money like that. So my kids know. Well, he goes to the Dollar Tree to get the said snacks, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna just buy snacks when I get there." So he's like, "Oh well, I'm gonna get stuff to take because I'm not spending that kind of money. After I done dropped $60 just on the tickets, like I'm not about to spend another 200 on snacks and food." So the girl starts making little comments like, "Oh, I see you a brokey, you're a brokey," and it was pissing him off. He was like, "Well, look, first of all, I work 2 jobs and I'm a student. I have to pay my own bills. Like my mama don't pay for my car payment. She don't pay my car insurance, nor my gas, nor my maintenance. I don't have money to be just dropping $300 and $400 on a movie date.
Mm,
So him and the girl ends up he decided like, you know what, I don't even want to go to the movies. I'm going to take you back home.
right,
He
right.
takes the girl back home. He ends up going with his best friend. All right, cool, whatever. So he comes home and he's telling me about it. And I said, well, did you curse her out? He was like, no. I was like, good. Did you make sure she got back where you picked her up from? He was like, yes, ma'am. I was like, okay, well then you did what you were supposed to do. He was feeling bad for a couple of days, and I'm like, you should not feel bad for that because number one, someone is paying for you to go to the movies. You shouldn't ask anything else. Number two, he's picking you up. You don't have a car. You're walking. And then you're still not satisfied. And so I've taught my son, because he's the only one that's old enough to date, how to recognize when someone is using you. And Jody, to answer Jody's question, yeah, like he knows, okay, and he'll say, Mama, I think this person's trying to use me. And he'll run it down to me, and I can say, well, keep watching it, or yeah, absolutely, they're trying to use you.
Right.
And I think his self-awareness is so great, and I pat myself on the back. I've done a wonderful job. He could kind of spot it off the top. Like he could say, yeah, had a friend of his every time, man, come on, man, come pick me up. Let's ride here. Let's do this. Let's do that. Da, 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 da. And at first my son was doing it, and then he stopped. Like, you know what? His car ended up needing some work done to it. And his car sat for a whole month before he could, because I ain't paying it. I ain't
Mm,
paying it. It took him a month to save the money up to get his car straight. Well, that same said friend during that time got a new car. And I think my son might have called him like once or twice, like, hey man, I need a ride to work. Would you be able to scoop me up? Oh no, man. Yeah, car don't run on air, man. Nah, I need gas money. I need gas money.
oh wow, wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so and I remember I'm nosy, so I'm listening to my sons like, bro, for 2 whole months, I ran you around and you gave me no money in gas, bro. I'm just asking you to take me to work. So the first time the boy said no, my son kind of was like, okay, cool. The next time he asked him, and it was, you know what, bro? I see what you own. I had to learn this lesson. Now I see what my mama talking about. Lose
Right.
my number. You see me in public, just slide to the other side of the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's
And he
crazy.
came, yeah, he came. He's like, Mom, now I see what you mean. I was like, yeah, baby, people are going to take advantage. People are going to try to get over. You got to learn to recognize it, see it for what it is, and grow from it and get yourself to a point where it doesn't happen again.
Right.
So,
Well, I would touch back. Let me touch back real quick on this young lady first. First of all, going to the movies is no longer a chump date because back in the day, movies, especially take them on a
$5. Go
matinee.
to a little matinee, $5
Yeah,
matinee.
yeah. It's a little chump date. Like you might spend some money on some popcorn and shit, but it's a chump date. Now movies is like, movies are trying to rival like actually going to casual dining. Like the
Hmm.
money you spend in a movie, you could easily go to Cheesecake Factory or TGI Fridays and drop that same money for a meal.
Right.
And that, like you said, that's just starting with the tickets. But the whole thing is that when you're selecting a person that you want to spend your time with, it's not just about like getting through the date. Because the dates in and of themselves are just an opportunity for you to get to know this person and try to come to a better understanding of who they are. Right? You get through the date and you look at this person and you say, what kind of partner would they be? And what she's telling me right off the rip, if you, especially the first time you say some bullshit about me being a brokey because I'm trying to look out and secure my financial future, that tells me
Yeah.
all I need to know about you. Because
Hmm.
the same way we sit here and we will watch Sister Wives and we'll criticize Robin because she came in and she was just using everybody and she didn't care where the money came from. She wanted what she wanted. That's because Robin's a taker. Robin's not a builder, right? You cherish, you respect, and you try to acquire somebody that you could build something with. Somebody like I would respect a woman like my lady. Like if we was going to the movies and it was like it is now, we just started dating. You know, if she asked me to go, she would insist that she pay for the tickets, right? If
Right.
I ask her to go, maybe I got the tickets, whatever the case may be. Either way, girl, we're gonna get something to eat before we get there because that way we ain't gotta sit there without, sitting there looking hungry and sad, you know. Or we go to the like you said, you hit the dollar store, get yourself some snacks. I ain't patting nobody down. I'm gonna go in there,
No.
I'm gonna have the snacks I want at the size I want and be busting a grub and
Right.
enjoying my film.
Because our movie theater now, like you just walk in, there's not even like there's nobody, like everything is electronically. Like when you walk in, your ticket is on your phone. You go to a kiosk and you scan you scan your ticket because all of the theater now is assigned seating. I know all the theaters here in Gaithersburg. They're
Mhm.
all assigned seating. It ain't like you can just buy a ticket, go in, sit where people used to rumble over
So
who was
whatever,
sitting
yeah.
who. But now everything is assigned seating. And so you just go to a kiosk, scan your ticket, they tell you where your theater is, whatever. You go in, and if you want to order snacks, you have to scan the QR code and you pay for it with your card, and then they just bring the snacks to you. So it's like, damn, okay.
Yeah, but that shit's always been a racket though. Like we can keep it all the way a buck. It's always been a racket because
Yeah,
because the popcorn and stuff doesn't cost, like between popcorn and fountain sodas, that shit doesn't cost them anything.
yeah.
And it
And
really the
a large, I
candy.
think a large, no, a medium popcorn now, James, is like $18.
That's what I'm saying. Like the popcorn is almost free for them to make though. For
Yeah.
the movie theater. It doesn't cost them
Yeah.
anything to sell you some popcorn. Like so, but they'll
Hmm.
charge you $20 for a jug of popcorn and act like they doing a meal deal. Like if I gotta go to a damn theater and order a number one so I can get a popcorn and a drink, like this shit is crazy. But
Yep.
the whole point is that you can't, like when you start trying to do demeaning things because I'm trying to save money. I don't want somebody who's going to sit there and make me feel bad because I'm not trying to blow my whole stack on some bullshit,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Like how are you helping me? I need somebody, and that actually kind of gets into the like I still got to shoot the true crime thing, but that actually gets into a thing where young ladies like that who try to push you financially, or young ladies because I think your son is relatively tall, right? He's a bigger kid, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You go out with a young lady and all of a sudden she like to, because I've known women like that too, like to see they men fighting and shit. They go out and
Mhm.
put you in
Mhm.
bad situations, so now we gotta fight our way out of here because they just like feeling like somebody's struggling over them and shit. I don't want a woman like that. I want a woman that's gonna tell me to calm down.
Calm down,
You got
sweetie.
shit to lose, James. You don't need to be in there wrestling with these fools. Like we got shit to do tomorrow. Like that's what you need on your team. I don't need
Exactly.
somebody who's going to cheerlead all my dumb shit and my worst impulses. I need somebody
Hmm.
who's going to help me become a better
He
person.
he had one of them too, James. Now that's the health I had to check. That's the one I had to get.
Yeah, because you'll fuck
Yeah,
around and get them killed or locked up. You know what I mean?
exactly, exactly. Like you don't, man. Listen, people are on the edge. People got all these things happening and going on. Like you don't understand the severity of because you want to run your mouth. You think, oh, I'm a female, and that's another thing too. You know, like I have one daughter, and
Mhm.
my big thing to her is you can solve anything with words. You don't have to put your hands on nobody, and nobody should definitely shouldn't be putting their hands on you. So
Right.
I think I've done a phenomenal job with my children, teaching them if someone's trying to get buck with you, that's what we said in my tape. You know, she trying to get buck. You know what? Just walk away. It's
Hmm.
better to walk away and be safe versus now if someone come and jump on you, you tear their ass up. But at the same time, if you can walk away from it, please walk away from it.
Right.
And these young girls that's in my son's age group, not so much in the area that we're currently in, but back home, that's all they want to do. Get somebody to quote unquote, girl, he was fighting over me, girl, he crazy over me. Like, what is this?
Right. Right.
What in the hell? What is that? I blame most of this on these reality shows. I don't know if you've heard of the shows called Baddies.
I think
It's a
so.
it's a show of just
It's
all they
like
do is
almost a
fight.
spin-off of Bad Girls Club where everybody
Yes,
would be like super
yes,
cute and
yes.
they
A lot of the bad girls
self-absorbed.
clubs end up on this show.
Okay.
And they just up there. It's called Baddies, Baddies East, Baddies West, Baddies dot or whatever. And a lot of these young girls take on that mentality. They put it in their real life experiences. And I'm like, people will hurt you. Y'all realize this is a scripted TV show, right?
Right.
Now you go out here in Walmart and think you're gonna finna jump on me. I hope your policy is up to date, is all I'm gonna tell you. Because I'm too old to be out here fighting. And I am concealed to carry. So guess what? F around and find out.
Yeah, plankle plankle. Like, well, I mean, it also comes down to the fact of like, you know, you gotta you don't know one, you don't know where people are mentally. You don't know what they're going through. And just kind of give a little taste of something I'm putting together for this Carmelo Anthony thing. When push comes down to shove, I hear a lot of talk about like self defense, and I hear a lot of talk about, well, he didn't have to go that far in proportionality. The truth of the matter is that you don't know where people are in their lives.
Yep.
So if I'm in a situation and five guys approach me, I'm not looking at them and saying to myself, "Oh, these five guys are probably just Christian guys want to, push me around a little bit. We get in a little scuffle and they'll leave me alone." No, I'm looking at it like these dudes are going to do my ass dirty.
Right.
You understand what I mean? And that's how they approach it. So it's like being in fights and stuff. The safest thing, like, and I'm not gonna bullshit. I can fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? I can
Right.
fight. I'm not even being like verbose or whatever. But I
Talk your shit,
understand.
James. Talk your shit. You got okay, go ahead, go ahead. My bad.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm not trying to be that guy. But
Right.
we'll push them down the shove. The first
But I
thing,
will if I have to.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not afraid to put my hands on people. But the thing that my dad had always taught us when we were even from when we were kids, that the safest way for you to avoid injury, for you to avoid the police and police interaction, is for you not to be there when the bullshit starts. When the
Right.
fists start getting thrown, if you're not there, the shots start ringing out. If you're not there, you have 100% chance of not getting hit. You
Right.
understand what I mean? And when push them down the shove, your first line of defense is always your feet. If you can walk away, you can run away, get away. Because at the end of the
Right.
day, you know, I've been in situations where I look at the situation, I say, you know what, if I do this with this person, if I win the fight, I'm gonna lose the fight. And of course, if I lose the fight, I'm gonna lose the fight and maybe lose more. You could win a fight, turn around, get sued, and lose your house. You could win a fight,
Mm-hmm.
turn around, get arrested, and lose your freedom. You could win a fight, turn around, and his buddies or somebody show up, pop a trunk, and next thing you know, they're slow singing and flower bringing. You
Right.
understand what I mean? And none of that benefits me. And especially if I'm out there fighting about some old stupid shit because somebody
Right.
just wants to see somebody behind, you know, rolling around on the ground and see somebody get their shirt tore off. Like that doesn't benefit me at
Or
all.
I want to tell their friends, girl, he was fighting over he girl, this dude said something to me and I went off and I threw a drink on him and girl, my man jumped on him, girl, you should have and I know females like that. I've had some interactions with them and those are the females that I said, you know what, you're toxic. I can't this is not a relationship I care to nourish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you get the label, she a hater, she this. I'm like, no, I don't like that drama. Not even when I was younger. I wasn't a very I didn't like the drama of it. Now, if I had to fight, absolutely. Let's stomp. But if I
Mm-hmm.
could avoid it, I avoided it at all costs.
Right.
And I'm not about to sit here and sniggle and giggle at you just starting a fight for nothing. Like that's not cool. So now I'm thinking on the back end, like, damn, I hang out with you. So that fight we got into that night, oh, that's because you was on some BS. I could have lost my life.
Right.
And this is before I had any children or anything. But now, even so, more so now that I have children, like I have to be here for my children, and I'm the only parent they have. So, what I look like going out here getting in some foolishness over some foolishness?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially you get some responsibilities. But even then, like I would say, push them down the shelf. We keep it all the way a buck, which I like to do. We keep it all the way a buck. Everybody tough guy to the police show up. How about that? Everybody gangster as hell. Everybody, throwing up signs. We need to go get them mugs. We need to crush everybody out, man. Fuck this. We're gonna roll on them suckers. And as soon as the cops get called and somebody got to stand there and talk to the police and they
Right,
take out the magic bracelets, now all of a sudden everybody crying and you got a bunch of people. I would never do this. This ain't who I am as a person. What happened to Gangstalicious? What happened to we need to clean this whole bar up? What happened to that dude? You know what I
you
mean?
know
Now,
what,
now I'm
James? I
you a scholarship
cannot.
student. Stop that shit. Like y'all like and I mean this shit because I say this as a person who is not built for it. Most of the people who talk all that good shit, y'all not built for jail. I'm not built for
Right,
prison. Okay, I will not do well in prison. So I'm not trying to go. But you
right.
listen to most of these fools, like they think about that first part, but they're not thinking about that second part. What happened when you go over there, you hit somebody wrong? Like people, look, it's so easy for you to hurt somebody. Like you punch
Very
somebody the
easy.
right way, you crush
Very easy.
the orbital bone. I'm gonna punch you in the eye. You crush that orbital bone, you could blind them, and then
Mm-hmm.
now you go from, oh, you just got into a scrape and maybe it was a mutual fight to now it's aggravated assault. You go from like
Yeah.
a
Felony.
misdemeanor
What is it?
3 all the way up
Felony.
to a felony. You know what I mean? Now
Mm-hmm.
you go from getting a ticket to facing years in prison. You know
Yep.
what I mean? That fast. And all because I'm trying to impress some girl who, if we gonna keep it all the way a buck, 9 times out of 10, when the night I get locked up, she's going off with somebody else. I'll be in the back of
Mm-hmm.
the squad car watching her get in somebody else's damn car. They ain't
Mm-hmm.
loyal. You know what I mean? She got her
And
nerve
that
on lock.
exactly. Which
I'm
is
good.
one of the lessons I instill in my son. Cause you gonna be sitting up here pushing up daisies or behind the walls, and they gonna be off doing any and everything that they big enough to do.
Right.
So that's I 100%. That's definitely. But you know what, James? When I had my little, I call it my blackout year, where I kind of just blacked out and just really didn't care. And I think I told y'all the story about when I was postpartum and real bad after the twins. And their dad, my ex husband, was cheating with the girl at the job. I think I told y'all the story about how I drove through the Pepsi plant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so crazy because it was one of those. I remember it. I was there, but I don't remember having any feelings. Like I wasn't scared. Like I sat there and waited for the cops, and it was yeah, 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 whatever. But I could blame that on the postpartum too, though. But that's my blackout year. I'm not proud of that year that I had. But that's one of the reasons why I relocated. I was like, you know what? I got to get my ass out of this environment because I see where this is going. Somebody gonna kill me, or I'm gonna kill somebody, and I have to be here for my children.
Right. Right.
And so
Yeah.
that's one of the things that my kids kind of know about. Well, they know about it. Like I've had conversations with them about it because they'll ask, "Well, Mama, what made you just decide to up and leave?" And I'm like, "I had to. Like I
Right.
wanted to be here to raise you guys. I wanted to be here to see you guys in your adulthood. Like I wanted to be a mom to you guys. So the only way I could do that was to get away from toxic stuff."
Hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, okay." It's like,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, it's
sometimes you got to
also
remove yourself.
recognizing.
It's okay to remove yourself.
Right. It's also recognizing that there are relationships that will feed you, and there are relationships that will starve you. And if
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship that's not feeding me and is not helping me to grow and become better, like I'm with people who aren't encouraging me to do the right thing and become better, then I need to cut them people. You got to prune. Sometimes you got to prune your trees.
Yeah.
Or prune the
Absolutely.
people around you. And if you're with somebody who's not, they might not be encouraging you to do toxic shit. Like I'm sure he wasn't like, "Yeah, drive through the building, baby." That get me going. I'm sure he wasn't saying that shit. But at the same time, he put you in a state of mind to where you think that shit is an option. Then I need
Right.
to stop messing with you. If that's my first
Yeah.
go-to, I need to stop being around you because you gonna mess around, and get me locked up, or
Right. And
you
it's
gonna get me
it
juiced.
was the nitpicking. Like the woman was nitpicking with me.
Mhm.
It's like the provocation. Like you're provoking at this point because I'm literally home with two newborns. My kids were this happened in October. They were born in the end of August. So they were barely 2 months old. And you nitpicking? Like, okay, you got the man. All right, just let you have the man. But no, you're nitpicking. You're posting, you're sending me like video clips and voice tags, and it's like, what? Okay, you
Mhm.
playing. All right. And that's another lesson that I kind of make sure I kind of drill it. But like, don't give nobody the opportunity to take you out of character.
Right. Well, because I mean, even with that,
Yeah.
if you keep it all the way a buck, the reason why they do that shit is because one, they recognize it affects you, and
Mm-hmm.
two, to them, it's a game. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like to her, it's a game.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah, you see, I done said of this, and now she mad. Ha ha, key,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
And then you out there acting, and then and here's the crazy part: they'll push you. Then they act surprised when they push you to a point where you do something, and then they
Yep.
can't believe you did it. Like that's
Yep.
the to me that's
Oh
the
my
insane part.
God. Why
Yeah,
would she do that? Why would
like
big shout out to my
you should have known.
hometown because they were like, first of all, we got all the evidence is right here. Like, no, this is why, this is why, this is why, this is why, this is why. Should I have done it? Nope. Do I regret it? Nope. Would I do it again? Hell yeah.
Right.
I'm done. Like I'm 100%. And one of the cops that showed up was the guy I went to school with. He said, "This is not you. You need to just get out of this situation." And he's actually a good friend of mine. He's one of the people that helped me move away.
Mhm.
Like he helped me move away. He was like, "Cause this is going to end bad for you and your children. Damn him, damn whoever else. You and your children." Like I had good people that rallied around me to say, "This is not you, sweetie. You are I've seen you literally dive in a river to save a baby bird. Like, and now you driving through buildings, putting people's lives. Like, this ain't you."
Right.
Like, yeah, you're right. It took my village to get me back on track. Best thing I could have ever done was leave my hometown and start over.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like
people
I
will take
said,
you
shit
there
gonna
though.
get different.
People will try to take you there. But thank God my son has the foresight, or like he likes to call it his third eye, to see, you know what, this is not gonna end well. Let me go ahead and ease on off before it gets bad. I think James, you referenced it like you in a bar and you was like you can feel it, you can tell when something's about to happen, and you
Yeah,
go ahead and you ease on out 10, 15 minutes before it all pop off. And my son is like that too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the most powerful superpower you got is following your instincts. Because I can't tell you how many
Yeah.
times that shit has saved my life for sure. Like, you know, what I mean, for sure. You be
Right.
somewhere and be like, you know what, let me get the hell out of here. It just don't feel right. Man, you
Yeah.
leaving for
The
real?
energy's
Hell
off.
yeah. Just the spidey senses going off. I'm going to go ahead on. And the
And
next thing
before
you
you get
know,
home, your wife said, "Well, what's going on? It's on the news. It's on Facebook
yeah,
Live already. Didn't you say that's where you was going at to shoot pool?"
yeah, I was on my way over there. I thought for sure you was wrapped up in it, you know. Like, nah, you know I
Nah,
leave.
baby, I left. I left about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know I
that's.
leave and shit.
I'm telling you, James, that's me.
Yeah,
I think I told you guys when we was on the last cruise we went on for spring break, and I was in the casino and they started piping up over there at the blackjack table. I said, you know what? Let me just cash out my little ticket and let me just go. And by the time I got back to our stateroom, my son come busting in the door like, "Mom, it's a big brawl in the casino. I knew that's what you." I'm like, "Nah, I literally just walked in." He's
mm,
like, "Oh, okay. I was just checking, make sure you was good." I said, "Yeah, baby, my mom is all right, and I'm gonna time for me to go to bed because I ain't going
yeah.
back up there."
And I can't testify nothing because I wasn't there when it jumped off. So
I wasn't there, Your Honor. I didn't see it. That part, but I don't know. I just feel like this. Just everything. The dating is a mess. Y'all about know how that went for me. I did go on a couple of dates with the other guy, and they were okay. They were good. We've
mhm.
been like chitting and chatting. But this man wants children, and that's not something I'm willing to do.
Yeah, yeah,
So we're cooling it, and I'm being very transparent with anybody I date that if you're someone that desires more children or start having children, then I can't be the person for you because baby, this factory is closed permanently. I will not entertain the idea of myself or a surrogate or any of the above. I don't want any more small children. My babies are 12 years old now. So diapers and daycare and all that good stuff is just not on my it's just not.
right.
I'm not doing it. So yeah, he has the desire to have his own biological children. And I said, well, good luck with it and we can be cool. But yeah, that's not something I can provide for you. It's not a service I can provide for anybody else right now. So we're just cool. We're just friends, and it didn't end on a sour note. Like it was a respect, Like I respect your desires
Right.
to have your own children, but you also have to respect that I ain't the one, two nor the three.
Well, I mean, I think
So
that there's a power in the honesty of it. You know,
yeah,
like I'm being straight up with you, and I'm telling you what it is. I'm not sitting there wasting your time by telling you there's going to be something different. So,
right.
you know, what I mean, that's where I'm at because I
So
I'm in like I said, I wouldn't do it either. Like I remember uh my wife and I we had you know, it wasn't that long ago. We had to take in a family member's child because they was fucking up. And they always held that against us, like even to this day, they still hold a grudge. Talking about, oh, you came and stole the child. Look here, let me tell you something. I could have children today. If I, you know what I mean? If I wanted to have a
right,
baby, I could go have a baby today. And I'm telling you right now, I have zero desire. I've tapped out. I'm done. I got all I need. I've seen my version of myself as a boy and as a girl. I'm good. Right? I have no desire to take on nobody. You know what I mean? Like I am done. Like
right.
you said, the shop is closed. And shit, if I get enough change together, make us some more permanent decisions, I might burn a motherfucker down. I don't know yet, but but
I'm telling you, James.
I'm past that point in my life, and it's just the thing where you recognize that not only is it, and it sounds, and for people who hear this, they may look at that and say, "Oh, you just talking about the monetary aspect." No, I'm talking about the patience aspect. I'm talking about the
Mm-mm.
time aspect. I'm talking about the things that I would contribute to a child that I would want to give to a child as a parent. I don't
Right.
know if I still have those things in me to give. So I wouldn't
Right.
bring another child into the world and deny that child a aspect of myself that child
Exactly.
is entitled to. You understand what I mean? Like,
That part.
let's not confuse like a subtle sounding of frivolity with me being irresponsible. Like I'm being responsible. That's what you should
Right.
be doing. You should, before you start bringing kids in the world, you should be trying to figure out what you're going to contribute to a child. It's not about just
Right.
making your life
Right.
better. It's about, oh, I want to see duplicate myself. No, I'm making a child's life better.
Right.
Do I have a reason why I'm doing it? Or am I just doing it because I want to biologically I can?
Right. Just sitting right here shooting them out because you can. Like, that's irresponsible in my opinion.
Right.
And that's, keep referencing back to the people we shall not be naming. But like, what's the purpose? I look at my grandparents, right? My mom was one of seven. Her mom was one of 13. They had these big droves of children because they worked the farms and they worked, you know what I'm saying? Like, they needed the hands to work. I get that part. But okay, 9 times out of 10, most of us ain't living on no farm these days. And we don't
Right.
need 15, 16 heads of kids.
Mhm.
So again, y'all sitting up here having all these kids and then you're complaining about you have to actually raise these however many kids you got, 2, 3 dozen children.
Right.
And it's like I have a family member that's like that. Like, girl, you sit up here and had 8 whole kids, and then we had a family function, and you mad because don't nobody want to fix all 8 of your kids no plate. Tell me your kids. My
Right.
3 kids got that food, and I'm sitting down eating. Ain't
My
nobody
food
fix
gotta
my
be
kids.
cold.
Yeah, ain't nobody fix my kids nothing. Yeah, no, because you ain't get up and do it. You eat, so fix your kids something to eat. Well, daggone, I feel like somebody would have. But you don't just assume somebody's going to take on your responsibility. That's your responsibility.
Right. Right.
Yours and yours alone. You should have made sure your kids ate before you ate. That's how we do it in our family. Line them up. My 3, y'all come on. Get da bop, bop, bop. All right, mine's done. And now I get in the line. But you sitting there, you ain't worried about yours, you ain't thinking about yours, and it's everybody else's fault. Like, no, ma'am. Now everything, all the food gone, and your kids ain't ate. Now you got to go to the McDonald's up the street and get them something
Right.
to eat.
Right. Well, I don't know
And
how
it's
you gonna be mad at me if you already eating. How you mad at me for eating and your kids ain't eat?
yeah,
I mean, you should be making sure your kids eat first.
it's the entitlement, and it's just we're in a society where people are entitled. Me, me, me. How I feel, what I want, and it's not about. You know what? Maybe I am. I need to sit back and let me sit back and reflect. Again, when are people responsible for their own safety, self, and health? Like, when is it going to change to, what, I'm responsible for myself, I'm responsible for making sure. Now it's a difference. You minding your business, you in the grocery store and something happens. So,
Mhm.
somebody do something to you. That's different. But if you're willingly going to the said situation, you don't get to complain. You went over there yourself.
Right.
Nobody kidnapped you. Nobody drug you over there. Just like that show, I'm telling you, James. If you watch that docu series, your jaw gonna hit the floor because it's a mess. It's mind blowing. But it's called Paradise House. It's very mind blowing that these women signed up for, go there and get everything that they're seeing happen done to them, and then they're, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that, huh?
Well, again,
But
like
you
I
went
said,
over there. You went over there.
I think that there's a sense of entitlement for some of the folks with some of these shows, in the sense that they think if they watch these types of shows, they'll do or even like go to these situations. Oh, I'm gonna go with this rich guy. It's that false narrative that we kind of push in society, that wealthy people are somehow kind and sincere. It's the same level of thought in science fiction, that if you have an advanced race of aliens, that they're coming down looking for peace. You understand what I mean?
Right.
It's that same like fallacy of logic. One thing doesn't equal another thing. Just because a
Right.
guy has money and he invites you out, and I know, everybody's mama told them they special and they wonderful, and all the world has to do is see how great you are. But when we really take a step back and we really think about it, if you show up to a guy's house and he invites you to a mansion and he says, I'm gonna pay for everything, I'm gonna pay for you to get there, I'm gonna buy you some clothes, I'm gonna buy you some jewelry, you ain't gotta worry about nothing, you ain't gotta touch your pockets when you get out there. And your first thought is, he's doing this because I'm a wonderful person.
Right.
You're a damn fool.
Right.
You're a damn fool. Because my first thought, and maybe it's just because I'm a skeptic or whatever, this fool wants something. Because in my
Thank you.
worldview,
Thank you.
and my understanding of the world, nothing is free. So
Nothing.
nobody is inviting me out to a luxury vacation for free. At some point, I'm gonna have to do something to earn
I'm
my
gonna have to
spot.
put out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to put out.
Like,
Which, if you look at his TikTok page, you will see that's basically what it is. Like, he's got the indoor pool, he's got the hot tub, and then gosh, what is it called in that world? It's called, he's a feeder. He gets gratification off watching these women eat.
right.
Naturally, he's got 4 or 5 refrigerators in his house and 4 or 5 big tables where it's just a buffet spread all day, every day. Because he gets gratification off watching them eat. And I want to say 1 or 2 of them have died. They've eaten themselves to death in this man's house.
Hmm.
And it's crazy. And then this one girl's like, oh, I didn't know it was gonna be like that. And I'm saying to myself, you must not have watched. Now, I just stumbled upon this within 2 hours. I already can tell you what is gonna happen if you go into this house. So he basically had one girl, James, Lord. I don't want to see how some people do it. He makes them weigh in. They do a weekly weigh in. And if they don't gain at least 2 to 3 pounds, he makes them eat before he lets them off the scale. Like, they have to eat like the girl said he made her eat a whole cheesecake or something like that. And I'm like, if you look at his page, clearly you see this man. He's very handsy with all the women in the house. He's a voyeur because he has cameras in all the rooms of the house. And then you see this, and then you get up here and you say, well, oh, he recorded me while I was in the shower. Ma'am, you can see the cameras everywhere in this house before you even go. I haven't even stepped foot in Las Vegas, and I can see that the man got the house surrounded by cameras inside and out. He's recording every interaction. And then he's a millionaire. He created some kind of device that goes into these cars, the Ferrari cars, I think it was. It allows the top. You can put the top on and off while you're driving it. Whatever it was, he's quite rich. Now here you are. You ain't even living check to check because you've been hauled up in his house for the last year. You don't have a job. He don't let them work outside of his house. And you're crying now because you can't fight him in court. Yeah, well, he's a millionaire. He's got attorneys. He's actually sued quite a few of these women that have left the house and won.
Wow.
So it's like why would you go knowing the reputation? That'll be like right now, I'm telling you about it all, James, and then next week my dumb ass is in Vegas at this man's house. And then 6 months later, what did anybody tell me? Huh? You told me.
Right. Well, I mean, even beyond that, like, there's some things like, and this is why I'm not a big fan of like a whole lot of excuses, because there are some things that you would know because because you live in the world. Like if you're a
Right.
big person, like for instance, if you're a big person, and especially if you're like a big person, not overweight, slightly overweight. I'm talking about you are rotund, like big, big, big. You go to the doctor's office and the nurse get nervous, like that big, right? If you that person, shit, there are people out there. When guys contact you, they a lot of times they either feed us or they crush us. Like they're the people who like to
Yes.
feed you, or they want you to get on top of them so they feel like they're getting crushed to death.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You know what it
Yes.
is.
I'm wow, James. I never knew that was a thing. Now I knew a person watching you eat was a thing, but I found this out on this documentary too. There's people that want you to lay on them to crush them. I said, what the hell?
Yeah, they're gonna get crushed. You know, it is what it is. But at the same time, I'm a black man in America, and I
Mhm.
understand that there are women out there who will date me because I'm black, right? And I'm not
Right.
gonna sit there and act surprised that oh my god, she using me. I think the only reason she going out with me, is because I'm black, and she like black dudes. She want to get a black fever in or whatever the fuck it is. You understand what I mean? You know
Right.
that going into it. You know that going into it.
Right.
Especially one conversation in, if all she want to talk about is like blackety 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 black, like, hey, my name is James. Okay, yeah, whatever. Calling me
Right.
Jerome and shit every 2 minutes. Like, okay, yeah, she just like black dudes. Like don't sit here and pretend like you had no idea that this is a possibility. And especially if they paid for you to do something. If he's paying for you to come out there and he's filming you and he wants you to do stuff and you like you said, you show up to the spot and he's showing you off top what's expected because that also goes into the element. This is probably how he wins so many of his cases. Because if he flies you out, you show up and there's a bunch of women who are already there and he's acting super familiar with them and they're all in
Mm-hmm.
the exact same position you're in. He's already set expectations. This isn't a thing where you just went out to his house by yourself, then all of a sudden
Right.
you're keeping all these expectations on you, surprise out of nowhere, right? You know what I mean? Like you know what it is. You know what
Right.
it is. So don't sit here and act like, oh, I thought our relationship was different. I thought I was special. How? What conversation did you have to make you think that? Because that's what I'm at.
Right. Right. And he a lot of times he vlogs everything. He's a voyeur. He watches everything. Any interaction that the women that have taken him to court have the reason why they lost because one woman accused him of SA, right? And at the time that she claims he did all of this SA, he has actual video footage with same timestamp and everything of him laying there and the woman giving him a massage and she's doing this. And he says to her, like, hey, I'm tired. Like, that's enough. I'm tired. And she's like, no, no, no. Like, so the video shows her being the aggressor. And he
Right,
flipped it like, oh, she's just mad because I turned her down. Now she's saying dot, 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 dot. How can she fight that in court? You know what I'm saying? Like, you
right,
can't. You can't fight that. So, yeah, I'm just like, I'm all for justice being served where it's due. But at the same time, a lot of the complaints that a lot of people are having is because you're putting yourself in situations to be taken advantage of.
right. Well, it's
So,
also just the fact that when it comes to life, you have to be like not only do you want to be a participant, you want to be a competitor, but you
yeah.
damn sure don't want to be a spectator. And it's too many
Right.
people that just are spectating when it comes to their life. They let other people make decisions and let other people make choices. And that's actually one of the things like early on I was telling my kids that like in life, you're either going to decide what you want to do with yourself and for yourself or somebody else is going to decide for you.
Right.
And that's just the reality of it. They either you want to choose that I'm going to do ABC or somebody else is going to assign you a thing to do. And that's going to
Right.
be your lot in life. And sitting around waiting for somebody to take care of you because he obviously is going to look out for my best interest, and he obviously has all this money, and he has too much to lose. Stop using your rationale on somebody else, because y'all not in the
Mm-hmm.
same space. He's not looking at, because he's protected. He's protecting himself. You're just
Right.
and that's the thing too. He's protecting himself. You're not protecting yourself. When we talked
Exactly.
about extensively about like sister wives situations and stuff, we could bad talk Robin all we want. At the end of the day, Robin was protecting herself. These other
Mm-hmm.
women were not. They were not
Clearly.
protecting themselves. So should I be sitting there mad at Robin because she was doing what she was supposed to be doing? She was making sure, like, oh, well, Robin was selfish because she didn't make sure the other kids got taken care of, but she was making sure her kids got taken care of.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Which
I'm
at
not
the
a big
end of the
fan of
day,
Robin,
I
but
mean,
it
I'm
is
just
what it is.
saying, at the end of the day though, James, I speak from the experience of, again, my ex-husband, my kid's dad, he has children after our children.
Mhm.
And so when it came down to like the whole child support situation, oh, well, Your Honor, I got other kids. That ain't my problem. And that's not my concern. My
Right,
concern is my kids and my kids only. You
right.
gonna pay what you're supposed to pay for mine. I don't care about the rest of them. That ain't, I don't care about that. So to a degree, I'm Team Robin on making sure her kids got it. That's not that's Cody's job to make sure all his kids got.
Mhm. Your
So yeah,
your mom's
I'm
got to
I'm
make sure that he doing the right thing by their kids, because
that part.
I don't. And that's the thing too. It's just kind of what we were saying earlier. Like, I don't. What in your history with Robin made you think you could trust her to do the right thing by your kids?
Right.
And if you can't trust her, why are you sitting there trusting her?
Right.
You know, don't trust the ass. You do the right thing by your kids. In this situation, you do the right thing by yourself, because if the dude is sitting there and he's getting everything he wants, and if you leave, he's still gonna have 3, 4 women up in the crib doing whatever he want to do to him. It's just not gonna be you, and he's
Right.
gonna be fine. The question you got to ask yourself is, when this situation is over, or he gets tired of you, or he changes his mind, where do you go from that point? Like, even to the respect of like the fact that you're in these relationships with this guy, and what happens if he decide, tomorrow I'll wake up and say, you know what, I want a slimmy. I want somebody who's too thin to win. Like, I want a little small joint. Like, what are you
Right.
gonna do? And he put you out. Like, you spent your whole life, setting up so you could be with this man and make him happy. But what happens when he cut the fountain off?
Right. Exactly. And a lot of these women are leaving their jobs, and but then too, he's getting a lot of them women, like, they don't have anything anyway. So they're taking a chance.
Right. Well, I mean, that's part of keep it a buck. That's part of the attraction, probably from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Like, he's feeding them, he's housing you guys, he's clothing, he's clothing, feeding, and housing these women. But again, who's doing that in this day and time for free? Nobody.
All right. Well, that,
Nobody.
and there's also like the psychological component, which you can't ignore, which is he may be the first person, and in some cases the only person in their life who's telling them that they're fine the way they are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything they're doing is fine. Like, you guys, you're great, you're wonderful, you're fine just the way you are. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful, etc., etc. And that's something
Yeah.
that they're
Yeah.
not used to hearing. So he takes advantage of that as well. So I'm not ignoring that. I get it. I get it.
I mean, I get that point too, James, but I'm thinking in reality. How is it you sitting up here 800 pounds, can't breathe, you got an oxygen, like, I don't care how many times somebody tells me, oh, you're fine like you are. Obviously I'm not, if I gotta have an oxygen tank and take it around everywhere because I'm so big I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
you have to live in the reality of what's reality. You could tell me I'm fine all day long, but if I can't get up out of the bed on my own without assistance, I'm not fine. I don't need you to tell me that I am, because I know I'm not. And there's nothing you can tell me to convince me that I am. But that's just me. I can only speak for me. I don't, it's hard for me to comprehend how someone's mind can be so weak that they can believe anything somebody tell them. Like it's almost offensive to me that you're that detached from reality. And I want to say like a couple of these girls have died in this man's house.
I mean, it's not that hard to imagine though.
But it's, I mean, yeah, like it's so, you see it so much, but at the same time, I'm still, every time I hear about it, it's like, how can anybody be that naive? Like,
Well, I
how,
mean, you
just
figure
how?
they in a position they in, they're already coming into the house physically compromised. You know what I mean? Because he's not picking up. It's not like he's out there picking up women who are 120 pounds.
Listen,
You know what I mean? Like
I,
he's picking up big. He picking up biggins already. Like so, ain't nobody hating on him. It's just it is what it is. And
that
so they
part.
already kind of on like they probably have already had the lectures from the doctors and everybody else. You got to lose this weight. This is crazy. You ain't gonna be around. Blah 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 blah. And then
Yeah,
he
yeah,
to him that's like a prerequisite. Like let me see your doctor's notes. And then
right,
by the time
exactly.
they show up to the crib, he's like, you primed and ready to go.
Right. Because these young ladies are like, they're barely 30 years old and they're just dying.
Right, right.
And it's like, this is so heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is so heartbreaking to me. And then I had a conversation with a friend of mine I was on the phone with while I was watching, and I said, you know what, I want to go undercover. I think I want to go undercover. I'm gonna message this man and see if he takes the bait. Because see, I'll be the one to shut him down. And my friend, she said, Tim, I love you. She said, but you ain't even gonna make it past the screening process. I said, why not? She said, cause mouth as you is. She said, no, it's not gonna work. She said, and then plus you're not big enough to go in his house. She said, because the fact that you go to the gym and work out and stuff, she said, that's automatic no. He's gonna say no.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. Because I was
Well, I
like, you know
mean,
what? I'm willing to go undercover, James. I'm gonna wear a camera.
right,
I'm
you
on the
guys be
case. I'm
sharing
gonna go.
guys be sharing footage. I mean, the reality of it is that it's like most abusers. I think that they have a radar for it. So I don't think that it's
Yeah,
it's as easy to get close to them just because. Oh my god, I don't think it's as easy to get close to them because they have that spidey sense too, but their
yeah,
spidey sense is geared a little different to them not getting caught up in and stuff.
yeah.
I just saw a picture on came across my thing. Say that Aurora's pregnant. I don't know. I don't know how true that shit.
mm.
It could be Photoshop or whatever. I don't know.
Listen, because with the way them, I'm not even gonna say their names no more. Them people set up. Who cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? Don't come up here telling me nothing about your business if you don't want nobody commenting or saying anything about your business. So, and that's kind of being like, with the exception of McKelty, that's kind of like the consensus for the all of the rest of them. They want to be left alone, so let's leave them alone. Let's
Yeah.
leave them to their own devices. Cause
Yeah, that's
yeah, I'm just, yeah. I ain't, I will no longer say the people who shall not be named. Those people. Well, if she's good luck, good for her, safe delivery. That's all I got. I'm like
yeah.
Linda. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I don't wish no ill will, no ill intent on any of them, but I don't care. We don't care. We do not care. We over here living in this man over here with all these daggone women, and they dropping dead in his house, and legally, is nothing nobody can do. Because I did not know that it's not a crime for him to sit here and stuff these women to death.
Oh, they're
There's no
voluntarily
laws on the
eating it.
books for that.
As long as he's not chaining them down to a table, there's nothing.
Yeah,
They're doing it to themselves.
they're doing exactly, and that's basically kind of what his legal team. No, like it's his right to go to the grocery store and pick up food for his home. It's not his fault that they're scarfing it down in 10 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I don't mean no harm. But when I say he feeds these women, he feeds the hell out of these. I'm like, yeah, I told my friend, I said, you don't think maybe I could just pull up and get some groceries or some how's food is? Like
I
I'm
mean, you're
just here for
talking.
the groceries.
It's a sexual component too for him, but I mean, it's there's nothing illegal about it.
Like that's insane. Like that's crazy. But yeah, if you ever get a chance and you peep what I'm talking about, I'm telling you, your fibers are gonna be gasted. Cause this is some crazy like really.
I don't know,
I'm
like
just
this.
James. I'm just waiting to wake up from this nightmare, what we call life, and I'm fully expecting to wake up and be back in night. I'm gonna go back to 1993. That was a good year. 93 was a good year. Cause ain't no way this world this crazy. There's no way this world is this crazy right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. It's not you know, I can see it. It's because there are people that's their thing, and there are women. Like I mean, there are women who have Instagram or OnlyFans,
It's
and that's what they
OnlyFans.
do.
Most of them got
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
and they get on there and they eat and talk about like they show them their stomach and they just sit there and order pizzas or chicken or whatever and just sit there and
So
eat.
on this documentary, one lady she has an OF page. That's what they call it, OnlyFans. I didn't know what it was, but like people like this one man like door dashed her like three whole chickens, a rotisserie chickens from Walmart, and he like sent her $1,000 to just sit there and watch her eat all three of these chickens.
Yeah, yeah,
And he told her if she would like pick the bones completely clean, he'd send her an extra 1,000.
right.
And I'm like, wait. There's people out here that are actually paying for this crap. And my son's like, Mom, it's guys right now. If you start it's I guess it's a site for feet.
Yeah, they take picture of toes and stuff. Yeah, yeah,
And I was like, are you serious? When have I have just been whew, I was like, are you serious? And he's like, Mom, yes. Like there's a page dedicated for just people showing pictures of their feet.
right.
People doing things with their feet. The more you can do with your feet, the more money they spend. I'm like, oh my gosh. I have been missing out. So I can actually start a page with just my feet. He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people, people got their own little kinks and stuff. They pay for it, so
That's
which again,
weird.
there's nothing illegal about it. It's not like it's wrong. It's just it's what they like. If they willing to
And
pay
for
for it,
feet.
nobody judge. They ain't hurt nobody.
Paying for feet, James. Somebody that no, that person is I don't know. I don't trust it.
I mean, everybody got their own thing. Like I said, it's not illegal. And as long as my whole thing is, as long as it ain't involving no kids and everybody involved is consenting, I don't have nothing to say about it. It ain't my, your
Like,
thing is
yeah.
your thing.
But it's scary. It's super scary. Or like my dad say, long as it ain't animals, kids, and old people.
Yeah. So no,
I'm like,
weird, but it just is what it is.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, James. I'm like my son now. I'm geared. I'm geared, mommy. I'm geared because this is some wild stuff. And you got to think this man. If you look at him, he looks like your average Joe. You know,
Well,
and
he
it's
ain't dying. He died. He's not trying to be big with him. He just likes to see that.
yeah, like he's sitting there eating a salad, and he got all these. They got 4 or 5 burgers on their plate, and he's sitting there with a salad. I said, "Look at this, look at this."
Well, yeah, again, like that's who he paying them for. They
Talk
know
about
that. Like,
something.
truth be told, they know what it is. Like, it's not even a thing where you can say, "Oh, they had no idea." They know what it is. They know what time
They
it is.
know, and that's why my friend was like, "Well, Tammy, you being hard on them." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah, they know what it is.
You can look at this and see what it is before, like you just started watching this an hour ago. You see exactly what it is.
Right.
Now
I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
Because if they were going there instead of him feeding them, if he showed up and said, "All right," like for instance, if you were staying at, it's the same difference as like Hugh Hefner's house, the Playboy Mansion.
Yep, that's
If
exactly what I said.
if you stayed at the Playboy Mansion, you gonna get tossed up. You gonna have to walk around with no clothes on, and you gonna have to gratify this man in order to earn your spot in the house. If
Right.
you don't have to do it, but if you don't want to do it, you got to pack a bag. You
You
got to
gotta
go.
go.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like it's not a secret just because it's involving food, and maybe he's not making the adult parts of it in the forefront, even though it does have that component. Just because he's not like, when I show up, I expect, draws to drop and we need to be getting busy within 5 minutes of me entering the room. Just because he's not saying that, it is what it is.
Right.
And you know what you're signing up for. Like, so
You
like the
come
whole,
here, your body belongs to me because I want to grope it when I want to, look at it when I want to, and feed it when I want to.
right. Well, I mean,
Like,
and that's what I'm paying for.
right,
And that's all it is. That's what he's paying for. I'm paying you because I want to do X, Y, Z.
right. I
You
know
know what I
one of the
mean?
ladies ended up getting pregnant by him, and she had twins, in which he was against her having those babies. He was trying so hard to he was convinced and trying to convince one of the people that came forward to go to the doctor, pretend that she's pregnant so she can get the abortion pills so he can crush it up and put it in the other lady's drinks. But that lady ended up having her babies. And so he has these two, these twin babies now that he's reluctant to be a parent to.
Mm.
And that the woman that had the babies is one of the people that came forward because you didn't get what okay. Like she's one of the, she's come forward now and talk about, oh, it wasn't consensual and this, and the third. And I'm like, wow, okay. So obviously there's some freaky, sneaky stuff going on because you got pregnant by the man. But
Right.
you said you didn't intend to have a relationship with him. I'm like, huh? But yeah, that's so wild, James. If you ever get a chance to look at it, just please look at it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I might not be as surprised as you are, to be honest with you, because I'm not.
I think it's more so that people I shouldn't say people this dumb, but people this naive. I'm gonna put it like that. Like, how can you be this naive? I've been watching this for 10 minutes and I can tell you what this man's about, what his expectations are, and how much is it he finna give you, which is zilch nothing.
Right.
It's all about him. So, but yeah, it's a good and he's still rolling. Like none of the court cases have affected him because again, he's a millionaire. These women are not. They're not able to beat him in court.
Yeah.
So they released this documentary in the hopes of something, him being shut down, so to speak. So I don't know. We shall see. I said I'm gonna just, I'm gonna keep
I don't know what
watching.
you like, because even that, like, I don't know what you would shut him down for.
Yeah, like that's what I
Is
was
it,
thinking because this is private residence. It's not like a business. It's not an LLC or any of that. It's his private residence. And these people are contacting him like, hey, I want to come to the house. I think I will be a good fit. Da 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 da.
well, I mean,
He looked,
like, just the basic premise of it. Like, you have consenting adults
yeah,
choosing to opt into behavior which some may view as unhealthy or inappropriate, but there's no way it's illegal.
right.
And if this is something they choose to do, they have every right to choose to do it. It's the same moral code of like them trying to shut down the like I said, the Playboy Mansion or the Hustler House. I
Yeah,
don't know what that guy's house was called, but trying to cultivate those lifestyles because you disagree with them. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle. I mean, he can live his life and they can live their life however they choose.
right.
So, I mean, it's up to them. Like, you got to make, but if I was a friend or I was a father or family member, you got to make better decisions for yourself.
Right.
Because this shit is like, this is crazy. This dude is gonna kill your ass. But if you're okay
Literally.
with it, then I can't. There's only so much I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I
And I
mean?
think like a few of the girls that have passed away, like their families have brought like civil suits against the guy. But again, these families are not wealthy families, and he's a wealthy guy. So
Yeah.
even with the few that have passed away in his home, like in the house, their families are not winning the cases. The what is it called when you hold someone else accountable? Contributing to whatever it's called. I forget the name, but yeah, like the family members of I think like one or two of the girls passed away like in his house, and their families brought up civil suits, but they're not winning them because again, it's not illegal to provide home, shelter, and food for somebody. It's not. That's not illegal.
Well, I mean, again, they're willing participants. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what they would even sue for.
yeah.
Like you're suing me
Wrongful
because
death. It's wrongful death suits. That's what it's
right,
called.
but you're suing me because your daughter who showed up in a health crisis because I didn't discourage her from like because what they're trying to do is they're trying to slot him almost into a position where if he was selling D rugs and
Hmm.
he gave them something and they passed away.
Right,
The initial problem with that is that the pharmaceutical part of it is illegal from the start. So you're
right,
engaging in illegal activity in order to bring about the death of somebody else, in which case it could tie into maybe felony murder or somewhere along that same vein. But there's
right,
nothing that he's doing that's illegal. Like I
right,
invite somebody to my house, I give them as much food as they want. I kind of like watching them eat. I like providing for them. If they choose that they don't want me to provide for them anymore, I just ask them to leave.
right,
So the only thing I'm really threatening them with is if you don't want to participate, you can't stay. That's not me coercing you.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's you making a choice.
right,
So I don't know what you would sue for. Like if I went out and I was talking to somebody and they said, James, uh, I can get you up to so many subscribers, but you gotta sleep with me. And then I sleep with them and say, oh, they forced me to do it. Oh no, what's going on? They didn't force you. You made a choice. You got to live with
right.
your decisions. Just because shit ain't
James, go
working out the
right
way
here, go
you
get
hope.
Mama my thing, don't bust you across. Baby,
Yeah. I mean, just because it ain't work
I
out the
didn't
way
mean to do it.
you were planning for it to work out a certain way and it didn't work out the way you were hoping and planning, that doesn't
Yeah,
have anything to do with me. You
right.
know, you chose to do that shit. So like again, I don't know. I feel for the families. I understand their grief,
I do.
but I have
Yeah.
no idea what you're going to sue them for. Like I don't even think he
Yep.
needs like he has money. It sounds like he has money and he has access to these
Yeah. Like
out-of-state
I said,
attorneys.
he created I think it's the Ferrari car, James, where like the top, you know how while the car is in motion, you can put the top up and down. He created some kind of microchip to put in the car so the car you can put the top up and down. I want to say it's one of those foreign cars, high end Ferrari, Bentley, one of them, somebody. But he created some kind of microchip. So this man is a 10 times over millionaire. Like he's got money.
Right. Well, I mean, but the whole point is that with this kind of case, you don't need a top tier attorney.
Yeah.
This is a fresh out of law school case. Like they have
Yeah.
no case. There's zero case here. I don't. It's at the point like I have no idea what you're even trying to sue him for.
Right.
I mean, you just don't like you may not like what he's doing. You may not feel it's appropriate. You may maybe to some degree you feel like it's scandalous, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, he has every right to have his sexual appetites. Your loved one has every right to have their sexual and or food appetite. And if they're doing whatever they want to do, yeah, people might get hurt, but shit, people get hurt all the time. If I like
Right.
going bungee jumping and I'm with a woman who like to see her man jump off a damn bridge, then that shit could hurt if it don't work out well. But I can't sue anybody because I jumped off the bridge and broke my ankle. You know what it was when you showed up. Like I don't know. Like I just like I said, it's kind of sucks that he's doing that to people, but at the same time, like I don't know how you gonna sue him. Like, what do you?
Right.
I don't know what you suing him for.
Like it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot. I said, yeah, that's. But yeah, I said I was gonna go undercover. And my friend said, "Girl, bye." She was like, "You ain't making it to the front door."
Huh?
She said, "My mouthpiece you is." Yeah.
Yeah, you also gotta go there understanding you got to do stuff in order to stay in the house.
Yeah, and that was look. I said, "Girl, bye." I said, "Cause I can see the cops being called on me the first 10 minutes I'm there. Cause as soon as you go groping on me like you crazy, you gonna be drawing back nubs." No, sir.
Yeah, because you know that's why he brought you out there. It's not like
She told me, but that's what you going out there for. I don't care what I signed up for. He don't got no right to tell. But see, then too, there I go. Now I'm going out there to be undercover, but the man can't touch me. See?
yeah.
There I go. I'm locked up. Y'all gonna say, damn, Megatron went out there and got locked up in 10 minutes. What she do? She beat the brake shoes off that fool. Oh man. But yeah, James, it's crazy. But like I said, just stay prayed up, guys. Be safe and be vigilant, and just go with. I tell everybody, go with your gut instinct. That's what I tell myself. I tell my kids. If your gut feel off about something, damn it, trust it.
Right.
You got to, because it's crazy out here, and people will take advantage. People will use you and get what they can get from you, and people will mean you no good.
No,
But
man.
yep. But I don't know if you got any other calls, but I'm gonna go ahead and hop off because I got my kids and my dogs. Everybody standing looking at me. They're ready to talk now.
All right. All right, Megatron. Thanks for calling in. I
Okay,
appreciate it.
James. All right. See y'all Saturday.
All right.
All right.
Awesomeness. All right. So we had a small group today. Because a lot of folks aren't interested in my thoughts on manhood, which is fine. We had Megatron calling. Appreciate you. But thank you, Lizzie B, for hanging in there with me. Jody Pierce, Scholar, Katie, all those folks. Jasmine in the house. Care Bear was here for a minute. But yeah, I just think that to Megatron's point, I think we do have to be mindful. Again, it just comes down to self-respect. One of the things that I was kind of harping on with the whole development of guys, got to respect ourselves. And part of that respecting yourself is protecting yourself and looking out for yourself. If these women are signing up, in Megatron's case where she was talking about these ladies for this particular show, if they're signing up for the show and this is what you into too, then the shit makes sense. But if you sign up for this dumb stuff because he likes it and you're not getting anything from it other than a meal and potentially a death sentence, then you gotta start reevaluating yourself. You gotta start reevaluating yourself. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'm gonna cut it there. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be doing the Saturday show. Hopefully we're not having any issues with these damn internet providers once again. But we'll be rocking out on Saturday at noontime. Go to the My Take on Reality site. That's where the memberships are located, and that's where we'll have to do the members live. So I'll look forward to talking to you on Saturday. Have a great night. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out.